This video presents a short description on how to use the child-centered research checklist in practice by going through 3 statements within the areas of informed consent, assent and dissent, code of conduct, and child-focused methods. Please see at the bottom of the slide a YouTube link that presents a 15-minute video on the 5 sequential phases undertaken to develop the child-centered research checklist. The instructions for the child-centered research checklist are very clear and are very similar to other research checklists available on Equator. The authors need to include their study title, the age range of children participating within their research project, the date of completion, and the author's names. They need to provide a yes, no, unclear, or not applicable score or tick beside each statement, and also include within the checklist the page number that corresponds to their manuscript or their research proposal. They also need to provide a statement as to why the statement was met, not met, or the rationale as to why this was not addressed. There are some exemplars for researchers to view for the 0 to 4 years of age and also for the 5 to 15 years of age bracket. For informed consent, assent and dissent, statement 1, you can see the first statement being was informed, voluntary, signed and verbal consent, assent, dissent from parents, legal guardians and the child gained. So the authors should provide clear evidence on who in the project were required to provide voluntary consent, assent and dissent, and whether this was signed or not signed. Some specific exemplars for the age bracket 0 to 4 include signed voluntary informed consent from the parent or legal guardian was gained prior to participation, evidence that the child's assent was gained at a time or over several times when the child was able to comprehend the information and understand what they had consented to, increased opportunity to participate through the use of an interpreter if the researcher did not speak the language of the parent and child. Some exemplars for the 5 to 18-year age bracket are children were informed that both parental consent and child assent was required. You can see there that there's the yes, no, unclear, not applicable, and comment columns. Here, the research is required to tick one of the boxes that is appropriate, but also to place the page number that corresponds to their manuscript or research project, also including a comment as to why that statement was met, not met, or not addressed. For Code of Conduct Statement 4, Statement 4 asks, did the study describe appropriate and safe data collection processes by taking into consideration A, the infant or child's chronological and developmental age, B, the infant or child's capacity and competency? So the author should provide clear evidence on their data collection processes, taking into consideration the infant child's chronological and developmental age and their capacity and competency. Exemplars for the age bracket 0 to 4, researchers use developmentally appropriate and safe data collection methods, such as the use of Lego, Play-Doh, crayons, smelly pens, glitter, photos, drawings, conversations, open-ended questions, computer technology, laboratory tests, radiology, imaging, and/or diagnostics. Some exemplars for the age bracket 5 to 18 years include the use of photos with descriptions or videos to inform the child of the data collection approach, the use of geographic information, system global positioning system devices, the use of photography, and how children could include photos. For child-focused method statement 10, the researchers need to consider, did the methodology describe an infant or child-friendly approach, including A, the researchers acknowledged the infant or child's responses as valuable and meaningful, B, the researchers listened carefully to what the infant or child said, C, the researchers responded to any possible concerns the infant or child expressed. D, the researchers acknowledged the child as a competent and active participant. E, the researchers asked the child for more detail if they were unsure of a response. The authors should provide clear evidence on how their methodology was child-friendly, taking into consideration the areas above being from A through to E. Some exemplars for the age bracket 0 to 4 years include the infant or child's behavioural cues were observed for signs of discomfort and responded to appropriately. For the age brackets 5 to 18 years of age, time was taken to get to know the child as an individual and develop a respectful relationship. Researchers asked the child if they felt safe in their current environment. The Child-Centred Research Checklist is now published in the International Journal of Nursing Studies. Please see the link with the DOI to this open access manuscript. It has also been published in Equator and is there for researchers, supervisors, ethics committee and organisations to use in regards to an adjunct with another tool or on its own as an ethical reporting guideline and undertaking research activities with children. Thank you for viewing this video on how to use the Child-Centred Research Checklist in practice. If you have any questions in relation to the Child-Centred Research Checklist, please see the contact details of Associate Professor Mandie Foster on the slide. The research team would like to acknowledge the expertise of all the international paediatric researchers that participated in this project, and also to Edith Cowan University School of Nursing and Midwifery in Perth, who funded this project through an early career research grant.